Okay, hi everyone. Welcome back. Second update for today. So, with the war going on with Iran, this has been. I listen. I've told everybody that follows the show. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to bullshit you, and I'm not going to toe the company or party line. I'm going to be honest as a taxpayer, like the rest of you, about what's going on. I'm not going to sugarcoat the bullshit in order to help a party that's fucking me over too. So the Iran war is going on. We started this along with Israel. We've both been going at them hard, and I giving the devil their due. These fuckers refuse to give up. They're being hit by two countries and a fucking fleet near them, and they're like, I don't fucking care. We kill you all, mother bitch. So they keep fighting. They don't get up. They refuse to go to negotiations. We're supposedly the ones winning, and they're like, no, no, I don't fucking care. Fuck your negotiations, and they keep fighting. So gas prices are at, I think, the highest they've ever been in my lifetime. I don't think they got this high when Joe Biden was president. We were like, what, 340, 350 during the time that Joe Biden was president. I don't think we got to $4 plus. Now we are with President Trump, and you are supposed to feel that you are a patriot that is doing your duty for mother country, and for what? We went in there to destroy things that were said that we already destroyed, but now we're trying to destroy them again. It's more as more time goes on and more information comes out, it shows more and more like the whole reasoning behind this ended up being a smokescreen. I don't think we've heard a concrete show of either information shown to us or said to us that they still had weaponized uranium. They were able to weaponize and use it militarily. They just keep saying that they had that, even though Midnight Hammer was supposed to have taken all of that out. It was a 100% complete success. Remember that? Well, so we're back there anyway, and we're paying. I was at the pump the other day. It was 4.50 a gallon. So I ask myself, what would I say and what would I do if Joe Biden were president right now and he was the one that invaded Iran and I was paying $4.50 for gas under Biden? And I would absolutely, I'd tear him apart. I'd absolutely call him a scumbag. So I'm not willing to offer Trump the same thing. This isn't all of us. We're not fighting the Nazis here. We're not. This isn't everyone doing their patriotic duty to save all of Eastern Europe and half the planet from a country trying to take over the world. We stuck our nose in business over there because allegedly they were supposed to be a danger to us. Instead, it seems more and more that not really. I mean, people's lives over there sucked. I feel for the Iranian people, but this is what's happened to the American people as a result of this. So now Trump is trying to come up with options in order to help us out. So he has decided to attempt to suspend the gas tax. So when you go to the pump, it's 4.50 a gallon. Plus there's like an 18 cents a gallon gas tax. So I looked this up because I wanted to know more about it, right? We see this stuff and we just fucking you just pay it and you move on. What are you going to do? Ride your horse to work? So most states, here's the explanation for this bullshit fuel tax. Most states levy per unit taxes based on how many gallons of gasoline a consumer purchases. However, 22 states and excuse me, and the District of Columbia tie at the least a portion of their motor fuel tax to a variable such as the price of gasoline, wholesale or at the pump, inflation, or other metric. So, how much revenue do state and local governments raise from motor fuel taxes? State and local governments collect a combined 53 billion between all of them in revenue from motor fuel taxes in 2021, or 1.3% of general revenue. This total excludes any revenue collected from general sales taxes levied on motor fuel purchases in addition to the motor tax. Fuel tax. Nearly all motor fuel tax revenue, 97%, came from the state motor fuel taxes in 2021. States earmark most of their motor fuel tax revenue for transportation spending. In 2021, state and local motor fuel tax revenue accounted for 26% of highway and road spending. Toll facilities provided another 8% of the remaining 66%, came from other revenue sources. So I want to ask everybody, how are your roads where you are? They in good shape? Because we're paying all of these fucking bullshit taxes. So I'm going to assume all of our roads, mine included, are free of potholes and damage and bumps where the road is caving in and everything. I'm going to assume everything's taken care of with all of this revenue. In addition to the 18.4 cents per gallon federal tax on motor oils, all states in the District of Columbia tax motor fuels per gallon. Gas tax rates range from 8.95 cents in Alaska to 62.9 cents in California. So that's on top of their price, which, by the way, even before the war, California was at like fucking $7 a gallon. In addition to Alaska, set my camera, hold on. In addition to Alaska, 5 other states have per gallon tax rates below 20 cents. Arizona, Hawaii, Mississippi, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. After California, the next highest per gallon tax rates are in Pennsylvania, 57.6 cents, Washington, 49.4 cents, Illinois, 43.4. Wow. And Maryland, 42.7 cents per gallon. So you're almost paying half a dollar every time you pump a gallon. If you're in Maryland or fucking Illinois or Washington State, what a fucking ripoff. Their roads better be fucking amazing. These rates include any state excise taxes on gas, plus any related taxes and fees that the consumer pays at the pump, such as applicable environmental or inspection fees. 10 states also levy a general sales tax or gross receipts tax on purchases of motor fuel. In California, the prepaid general sales tax is included in the state's per gallon excise tax rate. In other 9 states, the general sales tax or gross receipts tax is levied as a separate tax on the purchase. So, aside from this conversation, here's one of my points: the ridiculous amount that we're all taxed. So you're taxed by, you get your paycheck. You're taxed by the federal, you're taxed by the state, you're taxed by Medicaid, and then like a Social Security, right? And then now you have your paycheck. You have what's left. Now you go to the grocery store. You're taxed again. You buy some clothes, or you buy some shoes, or you needed another pack of socks or whatever. Taxed again on the money that was already taxed by the fucking state. You stop at the fuel pump because you had to gas up on your way home. Put that gas in and pay your fuel tax. There's another tax. Then you get home and you decide you need a new piece of furniture. You need something else for the kitchen. I'm going to put an order in on Amazon. Okay. Put your order in on Amazon. Tax for that Amazon order to come out too. All of our money just gets shaved, and then again, and then again, and then again. I mean, the founding fathers of this country went to war for significantly less than what we are being taxed with right now. Imagine the money you would have in your pocket if you didn't have to pay all of these bullshit taxes. And on top of that, this claims we're paying the fuel tax and then maintaining our roads. There are some roads I go that are absolute garbage. Why aren't they being taken care of? Look, think about how many people are stopping to get gas on a fucking daily or hourly basis. And you're making all this money, not to mention the bullshit tolls to get from, A to B, depending on how far down the highway you go. If I take the highway home, if I go one extra exit than what I do, I get a toll thing in the mail that I owe $1.05 because I had to go one more exit because those assholes were working on the exit I needed and doing road work and repairing it. So I had to go to another one and pay a bullshit toll because I did. Because I drove 3 more miles, maybe. The whole thing's a scam and a ripoff, and all the states are pocketing all of this money, and we're still taxed. And then they talk about how it isn't enough. We may have to raise taxes again. It's like, what? We're already paying too fucking much. Manage the money better. Stop embezzling it. Stop fucking all of us over. Let's try that and see if we can't save the taxpayers' money. So anyway, now that I've gone off on a side tangent here, President Donald Trump said Monday he will move to suspend the federal tax on gasoline to help Americans shoulder surging fuel prices by the Iran war. By the way, he gets rid of the tax, you're still going to pay $4.50 at the pump, right? Because There, when I was reading further on in the article, they used to tax it by a percentage of your final amount. So if you put $50 in, then or you did 10 gallons or whatever, they took the fuel tax off of your final amount. Now they've changed that and it breaks down to by every gallon. So if they remove this, you are still paying $4.50 at the pump. You just won't have the increased charge of 18 cents per gallon on 10 to 15 gallons, whatever you were putting it into a car or into a truck and what size you had. So a $50 bill maybe goes up to 53 or something like that. But this is not going to be a huge help at all. This is a Band-Aid on a gaping wound. So we'll move to suspend the federal tax on gasoline to help Americans shoulder surging fuel prices caused by the Iran war. The president cannot suspend the federal tax on his own. Congress would have to approve the move. So let's see if Congress gets on the same page for this. Lawmakers from both parties have pushed for a gas tax suspension, saying it would provide much needed relief for families and businesses. I really don't see that happening. That rely on their cars and trucks to get to work and school and run everyday errands. As of Monday, the average national gas price was $4.52 a gallon, according to AAA Motor Club, 50% higher than the average price of just under $3 a gallon before Trump was at before the war against Iran. Before he started the war in Iran, we were at like two and change, 260, maybe 290. It's a hell of a lot better. Now we've doubled it. The federal tax is currently set at 18.4 cents per gallon on gasoline and 24.4 cents per gallon on diesel fuel, so they're paying more too. The tax provides more than $23 billion per year in revenue for federal highway and public transit programs. How many times have you driven down the highway and these assholes are working on the highway and it takes them 3 fucking years to get them done, and every time you drive by, they always seem to be on fucking break. I'm not sure I've ever seen them working. Asked by reporters at the White House how long the tax should be suspended, Trump said, "Until it's appropriate. While the tax is only a small percentage of the gas price, it's still money," Trump said. It's a drop in a bucket. As gas prices have spiked, the Trump administration has released millions of barrels of oil from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve and temporarily lifted sanctions on some Russian and Iranian oil shipments already at sea. So we're the bad guys are getting a free run again to make money off their oil. We were sanctioning them. Then we're like, well, we've got to try and even out the global market because it's turning into a panic. So now the Iranians and the Russians can get some of their stuff and make their money off of it. The U.S. is negotiating with countries reliant on Middle East crude to join a coalition to police the Strait of Hormuz, where about 1/5 of the world's traded oil normally flows. Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri said on social media Monday that he will introduce legislation to suspend the gas tax. Democrats have previously sponsored similar legislation. Representative Anna Paulina Luna, Republican from Florida, also said on a post on X that she will introduce a bill to suspend the federal gas tax in light of Trump's recent remarks. Senate Majority Leader John Thune said Monday he has not been a fan of a gas tax suspension. Of course, you haven't, you shitbag. But added, I've got some colleagues out there who think it's a good idea, so we'll hear them out. Fuck you, John Thune, you fucking scumbag. Thune, a Republican shitbag from South Dakota, said he'd prefer to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to normalize gas prices. Well, fuck, so wouldn't the rest of us? Without legislation, obviously, anytime you suspend the gas tax, that leaves a big hole in the Highway Trust Fund, which also has implications down the road. Yeah, you shitbags can't line your pockets with any more taxpayer money for a while. Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky said that instead of suspending the tax, we should suspend the war. Look, we either need to finish this or you need to send the fleet in and fucking open the strait. Like, we went in there, this has gone sideways, you fucked this up, President Trump. There's no other way to say it. I think their plan was with us in Israel was you were going to hit. They had that intelligence that showed the Ayatollah of rock and rolla was going to be there, Khomeini, with all of his top generals and staff, and in one fell swoop they were going to take out all of their top leadership. And then I think they believed after that Iran, the IRGC was going to surrender, and instead they didn't. they doubled down and have been essentially fighting to the death and almost refusing to have any real negotiations. They refuse to stop funding their terror proxies, and they refuse to stop fighting or accept any of the demands that are being made. So this, look, I'm a supporter of President Trump. I'm a conservative, but I call balls and strikes on this show, and this is a whiffer. This is a big whiffer. The Iran war is a mess. In a time that we're already spending too much for groceries, you're spending too much to feed your family and put food on the table, and even buy regular items that have gone up in price as well. Now you have gas going to making its way to $5 a gallon. It's unacceptable, and it's absolutely going to hurt us in the midterms. When anyone that Trump endorses, the people are going to look at that and go, "I don't want to have another Trump guy, so I can keep paying $5 a gallon in gas." So this is not enough, in my opinion, and something concrete needs to be done. This needs to be brought to an end, or you need to open up the strait and leave it open and safe for tankers to come and go again. Whatever it is, if you keep fighting with Iran, keep fucking fighting with Iran, but open that strait and get the global supply back to normal again. This absolutely has to happen. I don't want to pay $4.50 at the fucking pump. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I blame President Trump. I don't fucking blame the Iranians. I blame the Israelis too, because they were the ones that bullshitted us into this and said, we go in this together, this is going to be fucking over like nothing. Bull fucking shit. The Israelis aren't getting it done. And apparently we aren't either. So I'll have more for this. The shitbag roundup is going to be Sunday, tomorrow, 8 p.m. We're going to find out if Chud the Builder is a shitbag. We're going to look into more of that and what happened with him. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Iran, too, and what the hell is going on over there, all right? Like and subscribe. It helps me. It helps with the algorithm. I hope you appreciate the show. And I'll talk to you all again tomorrow for the shitbag roundup. Thanks, everyone.